they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In our heart of the struggle, we dare to dream.
All right, hold on. Let's have one more since we're still waiting for some people to get in here. Please pay attention. Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud, spreading on lies, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Propaganda swirling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an
All right. So with that all being said, as you can see, I clearly forgot to remove Bootsy's music from there. Okay, so anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat, honey. We have got to talk about Diddy. Okay, Diddy said he's determined, honey. He's dedicated, determined, and ready to get up out of there, but not so fast, okay? So now he has pulled a power move, okay, him and his team. Now, I actually saw this coming because a few months ago, if you all remember, I played you the podcast of Harvey Levin and Mark Garagos. Okay, and Tina Garagos was a guest on there. It's called Two Angry Men, if you remember. And Mark Garagos was on there talking about the Diddy case. And Tina is his daughter. And he also let it be known that he had some secret, or not secret, but some inside information, that he was privy to some inside information about the case. So I had a feeling that he was going to join the team, because why would they have given him the whole inside scoop that he couldn't tell Harvey? Okay, so I'm not shocked But Diddy, please sit down. Nothing you're trying is going to work, okay? Nothing you're trying is going to work. All right. So shout out to everybody in the chat, all of my loyal Roys and everyone tuned into the Queen. That's right. Panther Strike said happy Friday. Okay, so let's see who all is in here. We got Panther Strike, Greta Lee. Okay, Silent D is in the house. All right. Dervis is here. Okay, Buckhorse DC. J.M. McClinton or Jay McClinton is here. Byron is in the house. All right, let's get into it. RG Titan. Okay. Because You Can Too is here. All right, so we're about to get it popping. Hey, Pretty Wings, Lana is here. All right, the classic one, Roberta, EXO is in the house. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you, Desmond. Okay, and shout out to my moderators because they really be putting in work because I go live so many times a day sometimes on my different channels. Hey, Wheeler people. Okay, so everyone please, hey, Nicole, everyone please hit that like button. I see you, Silent D. Everyone please hit the like button. Okay, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also, double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you have not been receiving those notifications. And so let's first start off with a word from my sponsor.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so with that all being said, don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes oil for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts, and you can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about Lecrae. All right, you all know Lecrae, okay? He's like a gospel rapper, if I'm not mistaken. I know he's in the gospel music sector, but nonetheless, there was a video that I showed you all like over a year ago where Lecrae was talking about having gone to a Diddy party. Okay. And so now people are going in on him. Okay. And so he had to come out and address it. Lecrae says he attended Diddy parties, but ain't never been to a freak off. So on an episode of his podcast, The Deep End, the Grammy winner spoke about the Christians who hate him for attending Sean Diddy Combs' parties. Now, his relation with God and his views on abortion, they also didn't like that. So Lecrae first touched on the repercussions of appearing on the podcast Under the Skin with Russell Brand, which prompted backlash from his Christian fans. Okay, so he says, Brand invited me on his podcast, and prior to going on his podcast, he made an announcement on his page. Okay, so Lecrae said at around the 11:40 minute mark of the video, he said, I get to looking at these comments, and I was public enemy number one. I think they despise me. Okay, so let's just get into it. Hold on. I'm gonna put an overlay on this because I don't have permission to be using these folks' video. Okay, with that all being said, hold on, and let me start my music too. We got to take precautions around here. Everything's for fair use. Everything's fair use only. I have the disclaimer, but sometimes that doesn't work. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on, I'm looking for the overlay. Here it is. Okay.
He invited me on his podcast, and prior to going on the podcast, he made an announcement on his page saying that he was going to be interviewing me. I get to looking at these comments, and I was public enemy number one. First of all, I had forgotten, because I've just been living my life following the Lord for the last 8 years. I had forgotten that there were tribes and subsects of Christians that hate me. Literally, I think they despise me. And a lot of their comments were around things such as me supporting abortion, me participating in a political rally, and me being at a particular celebrity's party. So, you know, bump it, man. I'm gonna be candid. All right. Lecrae supports abortion. Lecrae is a liberal leftist who hates God, and he can't be really a Christian if he's a liberal leftist. And Lecrae goes to Diddy parties. That's essentially what his comment section was saying about me. If I had $1 for every time I have had to redirect conversations about that, I would be 10 times more wealthy than I am. So let me just walk down this line for y'all. All right. These are the things that people say I need to repent for. I need to repent for being a supporter of abortion. That's what they say I need to repent for. Let me walk you down this line real quick. First and foremost, I forced my girlfriend years ago to have an abortion. I have since regretted that for every day of my life. I've written song after song about it, good, bad, ugly. I've talked about it in countless songs. On Spread the Ops Out, I mentioned the fact that I hope I get to see my child in heaven. I'm not even trying to get emotional on this, but like, I never will be okay with the sacrifice of human life for the benefit of people just being able to do what they want to do. I'm not okay with the destruction of human lives, babies in particular. Y'all want to talk about the parties? Because I know people want to bring up the parties all the time. I'm the one that told you I was there. You didn't find out from any other source. I told you I was at a party, but it wasn't a freak off. I ain't never been to a freak off. I've never been to any party in Hollywood ever where there was something sexual happening, ever. Not one time in my career. Even nearly 10 years ago when I was down bad. When I say I was down bad, there's a lot of stuff I need to repent for that you don't know about. I was down bad. I didn't even know if God was real during that time period in my life. And God was protecting me and saving me and keeping me. Right. So was I at parties? Yeah, I've been to parties, a couple of them. It was definitely in a darker season of my life. But either way, it wasn't a party where people was wilding out and freaking off. None of that was happening. So you got to understand what you won't understand, because you're a Christian. Why would you even go to that function? What you don't understand is that it's similar to being invited to a barbecue. When you're invited to the Rock Nation brunch, daytime, nighttime, it's like a celebrity barbecue. It's just a bunch of people going out there in the backyard, having some drinks, talking, engaging, politicking, networking. That's all it was. That's literally what it was. It was nothing chaotic and crazy. I mean, there were so many people there. And listen, if something did happen, I don't know, because I left. I was out of there, probably by midnight or after.
Okay, y'all heard what the man said. Now, let me tell y'all something. If Lecrae went to a Diddy party, that's his business. I really don't care. At the end of the day, like he said, the only reason y'all know is because he told you. Nobody came and told you. There was no whistleblower. There was nobody that leaked the story. There was no inside information. He told you that himself. Okay. Now, Greta Lee says, nobody hates you, Lecrae. You think too highly of yourself. Well, I disagree. Those people do hate him. Why would you say such harsh, hateful things? Because they hate it. And the problem with most Christians is that they're too judgmental and they act as though they're holier than thou, but they're not. There are pastors who are whole pulpit pimps, grift in the community, grift in the congregation. There are deacons sleeping with other people's wives in the church. The pastors do the same. Okay, there are some people that do all sorts of nefarious things, and there's women who go to church to try to find men that they can be, that they can use. Gold diggers, so to speak. What I'm saying is there's a whole bunch of people that do a whole bunch of nefarious things in the church, and they call themselves Christians, and what they do, they very often do it in the dark, behind closed doors. So we don't get to see what they're doing, but God sees. But when they see you or me do something that they disapprove of, they have so much to say, as if they are the ones that stand in judgment of everyone. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. And another thing that I don't like is when celebrities like Lecrae come out and be transparent and tell us things about their private lives that they don't have to tell us. A lot of us want to demonize them and criticize them as if we ourselves don't make mistakes. And I find that very interesting. Okay. At the end of the day, now, Greta, when you said he thinks too highly of himself, well, he's supposed to. We should all think highly of ourselves. There should be no such thing as thinking too highly of yourself. That's why it's called self-esteem. Do you have high self-esteem or do you have low self-esteem? Now, I'm not saying you have to walk around and be arrogant and talking down or being condescending to other people, but you should always think highly of yourself. If you don't, who will? Another thing is, if he weren't a celebrity, he probably wouldn't even give enough of a care about what these people are saying to be explaining himself. But because he is someone who has a platform and he's in the entertainment business, that's how he makes his money. He felt compelled, I'm sure, to come forward and explain himself. I don't feel compelled to explain anything that I do. What I do is what I do. It's my business. And so should you all feel the same. Because, I always tell you what other people think of me is none of my business. Okay? So there's always these people that call themselves Christians who think or act as though they're better than everybody else. And in fact, Greta Lee, in my opinion, they're the ones who think too highly of themselves. They think that they're above reproach. They think that they are the ones who should stand in judgment of other people just because those people tend to do some things that they disagree with. Now, the man sat there and shared that he forced his ex-girlfriend or present girlfriend, whomever, to have an abortion. Now he regrets it. Haven't we all done things that we in fact regret? And because he went to a Diddy party, some of y'all are saying, I'm disappointed in you, Lecrae. Why are you disappointed in this man? Does he do anything for your life? Does he take away anything from you? Do you know him in real life? No, you don't. So why should we ever be disappointed in people whom we don't know just because they're celebrities? You see, that's when you have to start thinking about celebrity worship. When you put them on a pedestal and then they let you down and now you're disappointed. I'm never disappointed in any of these celebrities, okay? Because I don't owe them anything and nor do they owe me anything at the end of the day. I can appreciate their talents, but at the same time, I can call them out if I feel the need to, like I'm calling out Diddy. But just because someone does something that I disagree with, like Lecrae, well, at the end of the day, who am I to judge? Okay? Because like I said, let he who's without sin cast the first stone. And with that all being said, Panther Strike makes a good point. He said, okay, Denzel went to a Diddy party and I don't hate him. Right? It says he doesn't hate him. But the bottom line is many of y'all don't hate Denzel and many of y'all didn't go in on Denzel. Denzel said he was a whole dope addict. He said that he injected, okay? He was shooting up because everybody else was. That's what he said. He said he was drinking 2 bottles of wine every day for about a decade. That's what he said. He said that he kissed that man in that movie and they took that part out. If they took it out, then why did he feel the need to confess it to us? Y'all didn't go in on him. Now, a few of you may have had something to say, but y'all didn't go in on him, but you're going in on Lecrae. Now, is that because Lecrae is a gospel singer and you feel like because he's a Christian, he's supposed to carry himself in a specific way? Because I'm here to tell you that y'all Christians, y'all ain't no better than anybody else. Okay? That's a fact. Y'all do the same BS that the rest of us do. That's a fact. You all commit adultery. You all fornicate. You all go and have abortions. You all curse. You all lie, cheat, steal, and everything else that everybody else does. So welcome to the party. Okay? It had to be said. If you didn't get the memo, I just sent it. Okay? Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Okay? Now, with that all being said, I don't have any problem with Lecrae saying that he went to a Diddy party because the Queen went to a Diddy party too. And I told y'all that. Okay? It wasn't a freak off like Lecrae said. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I left early because I stayed till it was over. But there was no freak off. It was a white party. Okay? It was an all white linen party in Cancun in the year 2000. So are y'all going to say, oh, Queen, I'm disappointed in you. You shouldn't have been at a Diddy party. Y'all can sit down somewhere. Okay, because quite frankly, I didn't know Diddy was half as nefarious as I now believe that he is at that time. All right? So y'all got anything else to say while y'all trying to go in on people for living their best lives? And so they seem to think. Okay. Grant says, I do not care about who goes to any parties. People can do whatever they want to. Okay. At the end of the day, I'm not going to repeat what D Major just said about Christianity because I don't want to offend anyone about their religion. But you said that you just sinned. Okay, I'm sure to them you did. Jay McClinton says, I'm non-religious. Okay. Lana said they hating on Lecrae. I mean, they could be, because I think it's just an overreaction. Because that man, what is he, whatever he's doing, why are they mad about it? Right? Why do they care? Did he come break in their house and steal their food or take their last check, prevent them from paying their bills, flatten their tires so they can't drive their car? What? Didn't do any of it. Okay, so anyway, let's continue because y'all are hilarious to me. All right, y'all are hilarious to me. But you know who's even more hilarious than you all? Diddy. Okay, and we're going to get into it. And in the meantime, in between time, Belle of Hay says, Queen, I like how you gather the people. Thank you, beloved. I appreciate you. Okay, sometimes I have to put them in check, and I know sometimes I step on people's toes or they might get a little upset or might want to go in on the Queen. But, at the end of the day, I wouldn't advise you to do it because you know why? Well, here's why.
Because if you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
Okay? That's why you don't want to try it with the Queen, all right? So with that all being said, D Major said, I shouldn't have said that, but this really ticks me off. I know, right? So anyway, let's get started because I don't have all night to be here. And listen, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, I literally just told you all on the broadcast over there that I was going to upload some stuff for members only. Now, yes, I am, but it may be later on tonight or in the morning, okay? But it will be uploaded, okay? You can rest assured. Okay? Sally D said, I swear this clip never gets old, okay? And so anyway, let's talk about Diddy, honey, because Diddy said he's getting up out of here. Okay, y'all can try to, can't nobody hold him down, okay? Remember that song? Yeah, that's what he's singing right about now because Diddy wouldn't pull the power move. Okay, it definitely is, but Diddy, this ain't gonna get you out of there, okay? Diddy's defense team, they shake up, okay? They just shook up the game, honey. They said they went and put Mark Garagos, all right? They went and put Mark Garagos on the team. Like I said, I'm not surprised. His daughter's already on there. He's already been advising her, I'm so sure. That's why he has so much inside dirt and scoop and information on the case. All right, so he already let that be known. So here we go. Let's talk about it. There are more charges coming to Diddy's, more changes coming to Diddy's legal team. So sources say that star attorney Mark Garagos is poised to take a lead role in the disgraced mogul's defense team. Now, not just on the team, but a lead role. Is he going to be the lead attorney? Is he going to step in and put Mark Agnifilo on the back burner? Now, Garagos, whose clients have included Hunter Biden, the Menendez brothers, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Roger Clinton, amongst others, is already an advisor in the case. And his daughter, Tina Garagos, is part of the team. See, I told y'all that months ago, so I knew this was coming, like I said. But insiders tell us that the team is preparing to file paperwork that would allow Mark to appear in court on behalf of the bad boy mogul. Now, they say, of course, Diddy has pleaded guilty to the charges of racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking by force and coercion, fraud, and the transportation to engage in prostitution. But here's the thing. Now, they say that his blockbuster trial is set to begin on May the 5th. His defense is being led by Mark Agnifilo. Now, one of 6 lawyers on the team. remember, Anthony Rico quit back in March, okay, after having some discussions with Mark Agnifilo. I don't know if they got into a beef. He didn't like that Mark was the lead attorney. I don't know, but he sure did quit. Now, in a motion to remove himself from the team, Rico wrote saying, although I have provided Diddy with the high level of legal representation expected by the court, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs. Now, he didn't explain the reasons any further, okay, citing attorney-client privilege in the filing. But they say it's unclear if Geragos is intended to be a replacement as for Rico, but if he'll fill another role in the panel. Now, early signs suggest that the team will argue that videos of the rapper's famous so-called freak-off parties show that, as they said in a response to his indictment, there's no evidence that anyone involved is incapacitated or under the influence of drugs or excessive alcohol consumption, and that there is certainly no evidence of any S trafficking. Now, it seems that they may use a racial defense. Didn't I tell y'all that? But anyway, in a court filing, Diddy's team argued that no white person has ever been the target of a remotely similar prosecution. Now, reps for Geragos declined to comment. And let me say this. The bottom line is the prosecution, I don't think they're ready. Because here's the thing. I know that they don't have an ironclad case. And I know some people are going to say, well, the feds always got it when they come. Not in every case, because John Gotti beat them a few times before they initially got him, as I recall. But at the end of the day, not just him. The bottom line is, I don't think they have all their ducks in a row because they're scrambling right now. They're doing all of these things like trying to add more witnesses or more accusers, all right? They've already done that. And then now they're at the right before the finish line, okay? They're filing all of these motions. So I really don't think that they have all their ducks in a row. And that's just my opinion. And as I told you all previously, I really don't think that they even have an airtight case. Okay? And I also believe that Diddy still has those tapes with certain people on there. And I believe that possibly Clive Davis, Lucian Grange, and others are on those tapes. And Diddy has them and knows where they are, and the feds don't. Now, that's just my opinion. But 50 Cent seems to think that Diddy can somehow win this case. And why would 50 Cent say that? Well, here's the thing. You know, what 50 Cent had to say about the whole thing is interesting to me because y'all know, listen, you all happen to know that 50 Cent doesn't like Diddy. He's been trolling Diddy since this whole thing started. He's been talking slick. And so when I saw 50 Cent talking about Diddy probably being able to win his case, I said, what is 50 Cent up to? Is he trolling again, or is he serious this time? Well, here's the thing. Let's get into it. Okay? Because the bottom line is, whatever 50 Cent said about Diddy and his trial really isn't that significant. It's just not that important. And the only reason that we're talking about it is because y'all know that I just happen to love 50 Cent. And I just wanted to get on here and talk about him, okay? Let's just keep it a buck. And to show y'all this again. Okay, so just know that anytime I have the opportunity to talk about 50 Cent, I'm going to take it. Now let's get into it. 50 Cent thinks Diddy could win federal S trafficking trial if he pulls off this one specific move. Okay, he says, but he's going to have to pay a lot of money to do it. So in a surprising turn, 50 Cent has momentarily put a pause on his relentless trolling of longtime rival Sean Diddy Combs to offer a rare sliver of encouragement as the bad boy mogul prepares for a high-profile legal showdown. So on Tuesday, April the 9th, Fifth took to Instagram to weigh in on Diddy's recent attempt to bring powerhouse attorney Joe Tacopino onto his legal team. Now remember, this was A$AP Rocky's attorney when he just beat that case. So if 50, this is what he says. 50 says if Diddy can get Joe, he might beat this case. Okay, now this is what 50 said with a caption screenshot of a news headline detailing Diddy's pursuit of Tacopina as counsel. He said, but he's going to have to pay a lot of money and there's no time to prepare. Well, the comments came amid growing speculation surrounding Diddy's legal future as he faces mounting allegations and prepares to defend himself in court. Now, while the details of the case remain largely sealed from the public, consent appears to be at the center of the defense strategy. Now, I just want you all to pause, bow your heads, take a moment of silence, and then remember who told you this first. Remember, you heard it here first. I told you all that it was going to come down to consent. Okay? Now, in a recent interview with Vlad TV, Tacopina, who recently helped rapper A$AP Rocky get acquitted on felony assault charges, confirmed that he had in fact spoken to Diddy about potentially taking on the case. However, he ultimately passed on the opportunity due to the limited time to adequately prepare. Okay, despite this, the seasoned defense attorney expressed confidence in Diddy's ability to fight the charges. I don't want to hear that, but that's what he said. And I played you all the audio when he was on Vlad's. He said, I didn't turn him down because I don't like him or I don't believe in his case. I think he's got a very defensible case. It just boils down to an issue of consent. Now, Tacopina also noted that in situations involving high-profile figures like Diddy, the lines between coercion and consent can be blurry, especially when fame, perks, and lifestyle are at play. So while 50 Cent's support may come wrapped in sarcasm, his acknowledgement of Tacopina's courtroom prowess hints at the possibility of a legal win for Diddy if he can pull the right strings in time. Well, you know, here's the thing. Diddy couldn't get Tacopina, but he darn sure got Mark Garagos, okay? He darn sure got Mark Garagos. So that's going to help him, even though I still don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. At least I hope he's not. Okay, if Diddy, I'm telling y'all right now, if Diddy gets up and walks out of that courtroom acquitted of all charges, I'm literally going to pass out. Okay, and somebody's going to have to call 911. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, that's what 50 Cent had to say. And here's the thing. Now, you may be asking, how is it that Joe Tacopina says that he doesn't have time to prepare for the case? You know, because it's right around the corner. It's just weeks away. It's less than a month at this point. And so then if he doesn't have time to prepare, how does Mark Garagos? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You see, Mark Garagos has already, as I told you, been previously prepped on the case. He's been given advising counsel, Teeny Garagos, his daughter, and he's already had inside information and knows the details, the specifics of the case. He knows everything pretty much that's going on. So they don't really have to take time, you know, just trying to give him information, updating him, briefing him or whatever, because he's been actively getting information. Now with Tacopina, he would have to come on, go through all of the paperwork, get briefed on it, start trying to come up with what he's going to say in defense and whatever, and see what role he's going to play in all of that. So he doesn't have time. Okay. So anyway, Lord Diddy, don't you get out of jail. Don't you get out, okay? Greta says, no worries, Queen. You will not pass out because Diddy is not walking out that courtroom as a free man, okay? Listen, I think he's going to get at least 4 to 5 years with time served. I don't think he's going to get that life sentence they keep talking about. And then if all else fails, they'll just probably pull an Epstein on Diddy. I'm not wishing it on him. All right? Even though I'm wishing that he gets found guilty of the things that he's actually done. But nonetheless, and speaking of things that he's actually done, let's talk about this case right here. Remember, you heard it here first, okay? Because I haven't seen anybody with these juicy, nefarious details. Now, mind you, this is a lawsuit that was filed against Diddy and some others. And I find it all very interesting. It was, however, deemed as frivolous. It was deemed as frivolous and then dismissed. But so were a couple of other cases that I read to you all, where there was a case about Beyonce, Jay-Z, R. Kelly, Diddy, a whole bunch of people named and listed. Kanye was even included, and they were saying some of the same things that are in this case. And that was deemed as frivolous too. And, you know, sometimes these things sound far-fetched or sound crazy, but, you know, in my opinion, sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Now, this does sound a bit crazy to me, so let's talk about it nonetheless. Okay, likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Don't forget to hit that like button. Okay, here we go. Let's get into it. Now, as you can see, this is an appeal for a case that was previously filed, and then it was filed April the 2nd of 2025. Okay, the United States District Court, Western District of New York, a man by the name of David Johnson, and he's actually filed this against Angela Campbell, Sean Combs, Dan Wolf, and Joy Kemp. Okay, these are the people named in here. Now, this was filed, he filed this himself, okay? He filed this himself. So appellate brief. Okay, Sean Combs, Angela Campbell, David Wolf, Joy Kemp. Now listen to this, because this is all nefarious. First, I find it quite impossible that a United States federal judge could find anything I have reported to be a fantasy or a baseless, frivolous claim, unless there is a decision that needs to be made in the, this is basically stands for the Supreme Court of the United States. For anybody that doesn't know what SCOTUS is, that's the Supreme Court of the United States. Now, I am not a law school graduate, but it does not take a law degree to know that I am entitled to what I seek. These things are all factual, and there are witnesses. If the defendant has produced a non-disclosure to defend himself, I am telling you that that non-disclosure was obtained using force, fraud, and coercion. Now, those are some interesting choice of words, because isn't that what they said Diddy was accused of with the trafficking in his case? Okay, as trafficking with force, fraud, and coercion. Please pay attention. Now, Sean Combs would bribe and pay people through his lawyer, Angela Campbell, to silence people. There was a conspiracy of so many people, I can't even name them all. When I was 12 years old, my mother trafficked me to New York City and Long Island around the holidays and literally forced me into using a non-disclosure or signing it. How did they force me? Well, they would use artificial intelligence. Whatever evidence that Combs or anyone produces of me appearing to consent to having sexual intercourse with Combs is fraud. I would speak words, and what I really said would not be what is heard, and it wouldn't even be my voice. Now, just listen to this. Okay, this is what this man is alleging. He says this started when he was 12 years old. And by the way, this man is a prison inmate. And further, as I went through the details, he's basically alleging that the reason that he's in prison is because of Diddy. Now, that's interesting because, as you remember, Derek Lee Cordello Smith, who sued Diddy for the $100 million, well, he also claims that he's in prison because of Diddy. He said the stuff he's in prison for, that's what Diddy did, or Diddy got him set up. Okay, so anyway, goes on to say that I would speak words and what I really, and it wouldn't even be my voice. My mother trafficked me and sold me for money so that her boyfriend could buy drugs. Angela Campbell is the person who facilitated this. I believe that she is Combs' lawyer or was on his payroll somehow. On Thanksgiving night, I ate dinner. They swindled me into signing what I believed to be a non-disclosure. Then Angela Campbell made me drink a red beverage. About 10 minutes later, they made me go upstairs and go to sleep. I couldn't sleep right away, so I turned on the TV. Angela came upstairs and asked me, did I tell you to turn on the TV? I said, I can't sleep. It's early. So she hypnotized me. I met Angela Campbell the first time around the time I was 3 or 4. She has been hypnotizing me ever since. Now here's where it gets crazy. She has been hypnotizing me ever since I was a toddler. Her and her nephew, Frederick Crockton. They have been trying to force me to be gay or transition into a girl. This is all true. Please give me a chance to prove it. They have also been raping me. Now, I want you to pay attention because that sounds like what Charlize Theron did to that little black boy and girl that she adopted, that she forced them to transition. Now, she can sit there and say all she wants, that the little boy told her at the age of 3 that he wanted to be a girl, but who knows what they want at the age of 3. Okay, so she could miss me with it, but let's continue. He says, so after I fell asleep, I had about a 5-minute period of semi-consciousness where I was getting raped as if I was some adult corn star with a P, like literally pounding my back door. Then they put bodily fluids on him. It's what he's saying. Now I woke up the next morning confused. I told my mother and she brushed me off. They had what I believed to be a fake cop interview me. Then the next thing I knew, I was in a dark basement with no light, only a TV. The only thing I could watch and listen to were music videos. I would fall asleep, wake up, and watch videos. I do not know how long I was in this basement, but eventually my mom arrived and we went back home to Rochester. After returning to my normal life and going to school, I would notice that my peers and teachers would look at me funny and have this look as if they knew what I went through. Then someone told me I was pregnant. Wait a minute, I thought this was a dude. His name is David. But anyway, this is all crazy right here. Okay, but let's keep going. I can't even explain how this felt. First, let me say that I have never consensually, without fraud or force or coercion, let a man poke me from the back door. Why did someone tell him he was pregnant? See, this is what I'm talking about. It sounds so crazy. Now, I was 12, a boy, pregnant, and in middle school. Aubrey says, Diddy says his bank is closed. He gave it all to Cassie. Hold on. Above all that drama says, they took him to Pound Town, shaking my head. Payo Bunyan said, crazy don't describe this. So anyway, he says, I can't even explain how this felt. First, let me say that I have never consensually, without fraud, force, or coercion, let a man poke me from the back door. I was 12, a boy pregnant and in middle school. Interview my middle school teachers. I have told so many adults and tried to get help. No one would help me. This country has a problem. That sounds like he has a problem. Angela Campbell had the ability to turn into other people. Now, this might sound like a fantasy. I don't know if it is hypnosis or if magic really is real or what. Okay, or what they did to my brain. I swear on my life, I would see my mother and it would really be Angela Campbell. It may have been the music in the dark room. For example, one time I was at the library. I got a text from my mother that said, come outside. I went out, seen my mother in her car, got in. She said she had to take me to Bamboozles. I don't know what that is. I wasn't really facing her because I was looking straight. Then when I looked, it was Angela. I asked, what? Why do you look like my mom? She would not say anything. I told her to take me back. I saw a quick flash and I was not conscious anymore. I don't know what happened after that, but I woke up at home. Now, back to my pregnancy. I tried to get help, but I was offered $1 million to say that I lied about my report. Any video that anyone produces that refutes my claim is fraudulent, as I already said. Do you all see what I'm talking about? These people with these lies that they're putting out here. Okay, some of these people are quite frankly insane in real life. Okay? But let's keep going. So anyway, I was being hypnotized every day at this time, and I would not even be able to see the real world. One day I was in my room and I felt like I had to poop. I went and sat down at the toilet. I could not move once I sat down. I felt a cut in my inside from up my butt. There was a metallic sound, and then the next thing I knew, I woke up in my bed and I wasn't pregnant. Then he writes here at the bottom, please interview these 4 witnesses. Sergeant Fan, who works at the Mid-State Correctional Facility. Now, I did look that up, and it's a real place, Mid-State Correctional Facility. Now, I couldn't find if there was a Sergeant Fan who worked there or not. Officer Joshua Hart, who works at Mid-State Correctional Facility. Officer Burkhart, who works at Mid-State Correctional Facility and transfers to Fishkill Correctional Facility, and Johnny Burrell. Okay, so I didn't look up all of these people, but I did look up the facility. The one person that I did look up, and I take that back. It wasn't Joshua or Sergeant Fan that I looked up. It was Officer Burkhart. Now, let me just state that there really was a conspiracy of adults who had power and wealth to cover this up and ruin my reputation in the community. I also want to address the incident with my sister when I was forcing her to participate in fellatio. This was staged to validate the fact that they were already graping me and take away my credibility whenever I tried to report anything, and to turn everyone in the community against me. They tried to cancel me. They would literally tell me to have relations with my sister in my head using hypnosis or using sound wave technology. Now, if you all remember that story about Beyonce, Jay-Z, Diddy, R. Kelly, Kanye, etc., Kim Kardashian, and all of them, the person did say something about sound wave technology, if I'm not mistaken, and something about a camera being inserted into their brain. And if you remember, I went and did some research, and they actually do have a camera that you can insert inside someone. I think they said it was in their eye, not their brain, but so that they say that it could see or whatever what's going on or something like that. But they actually have something like that, what the person described. Now, they would keep me up all night unless I complied. Now, when I attempted to go to sleep, I couldn't. They could control my emotions, thoughts, feelings, and body. I don't know how, but it's true. They would give me make his cucumber stand up straight, okay, for hours, painful stiffness that he had to go through, and record me choking his chicken or pleasuring himself, and record me having relations with my sister. Her father would also have relations with me while I was asleep. I could not move and I was not conscious. I would be conscious for about 10 seconds. It was like they could control my consciousness. I have a witness. Please interview him. He knows more about what happened to me. He was inside next to this conspiracy. He works in New York. Okay, looks like this says DOCCS. I don't know what that is. Okay, so anyway, I also believe that he used to do security work for Sean Combs. I know him as Officer Burkhart. I believe his first name is Thomas. Now, that's the one that I looked up. Okay, if I am wrong, I can surely identify him like this. Check the prison record logbook for Mid-State Correctional Facility S Block, the officer that did laundry on Friday, March 28th of 2025. Now, when I was 17 years old, actually, when I was in placement as a juvenile delinquent and incarcerated at Goshen Secure Center, I looked that up too. It's a real place. I was raped by Sean Combs after a senior counselor, Afernay Simmons, I believe it's the name, fraudulently coerced me into signing what I believe might have been a non-disclosure. He did not let me read the document. He actually played it off like it was typical caseload paperwork. And any audio recording or video that he produces to refute me was fraud. He also lied to me and told me that I would get a record deal. I also believe that he would drug me with food and let other kids come into my secure area and grape me. After being released from custody, also, I just want to state that if Angela Campbell had custody of me or any rights, that was done using fraud. They would literally take over my brain and talk through me. I don't know how, but it's true. These are wealthy people. I was born to a 15-year-old mother and a deadbeat biological father. Please take what I'm saying serious. My life depends on it. So after being released from juvenile detention back in the custody of my mother, let me also state that they could control my memories. Also, I would literally forget about stuff short term, but if I was reminded, I would remember. Please interview my witness. Now they would also hypnotize me and other people around me. They would put me in dangerous situations where if I made the wrong choice, I would get hurt or killed. For example, I would be crossing a street and the coast would be clear. I swear no cars in sight. But as soon as I stepped past, a car would come flying by behind me as if it was there the whole time. Can you guys please send me a lawyer? I swear I'm telling the truth. And the law says that this should be viewed in my favor. Now, when I was 16 and 17, before being locked up, I was still being hypnotized every day. One day I was walking to the gas station to buy something. I came across 3 boys I knew. Actually, I know my cousin and Anthony Lawson, but I did not recognize him. I approached their car to say what's up and to try to roll with them. And Anthony Lawson told me that I got raped by P. Diddy when I was 12. Now, I had forgot about this somehow, and this was kind of like a bombshell to me. Also, his exact words were grape, not anything else. Anthony Lawson is a childhood friend of Najaya Leonard, who is Angela Campbell's niece and a transgender. Also, Najaya Leonard would be the voice that they would use to voice over me. Angela Campbell would coerce me into having to give fellatio to Najaya Leonard when I was about 4 or 5 years old. She would tell me that I had to taste her cucumber, okay? Or I would not play basketball anymore. My dream has always been to make the NBA draft. I love basketball. Anthony Lawson and Najaya Leonard are close friends, and they used to live on the same street in Rochester. Let me just say that I reported the fact that Angela Campbell would make me do this, and my grandma called Child Protective Services. Somehow, Angela Campbell was still allowed to be close to me. Now, after being reminded about how Sean Combs raped me when I was 12, and when I was in Goshen Secure Center, I immediately called my mother. I believe I also remember calling the police and the clerk of the U.S. court. This conspiracy of adults also had my phone tapped, and when I called the police, it would not go to the police. Also, after I reported this, Sean Combs put a $10 million bounty on my head for someone to kill me. Please interview my witness. Dan Wolf would accept bribes from Sean Combs in order to cancel me and deter me from being successful in school and in athletics. Please investigate where did the funding come from to pay for Churchville Chili Senior High School. Okay, turf football field and new aquatic pool. Okay, so basically he's saying that they got a new football field and a new pool at the school. Okay, his handwriting's a little sloppy. So, okay, the principal was a part of it also. They would pay, hold on, let me scroll back. Okay, they would pay my peers to not give me the ball, either he or Angela Campbell. He also attempted to insure me at practice, and another kid ended up getting to injure me at practice, and another kid ended up getting injured. They would rig the games, and lastly but not least, they would violate Say's Row. I don't know who that person is or how that name is supposed to be pronounced, but anyway, by not allowing me to participate in classes that I was eligible to participate in. Like, oh, that's not a person. Hold on. They would violate I don't know what that's supposed to be, but he said they would do that and not allow him to participate in classes that I was eligible to participate in, like the robotics class. My ELA teacher was also part of it. I was also a victim of hypnosis when I committed the crime that I am currently incarcerated for. Sean Combs has also been trying to get me assassinated while I have been in prison. On my daughter's birthday, May the 20th of 2021 or 2020, he had my peers lace me and catch an overdose in my cell. These people are master manipulators, and they know how to put up smoke screens. They probably made it seem like it wasn't coming from Sean Combs, but it really did. Check if the organization is supporters of him. Please interview my witness. Now, notice he keeps saying that. Alfernay Simmons has been in Albany coordinating my assassination and recruiting people to be a part of my death and make it look like I caused it on myself because I'm a gangbanger. Check the cameras of Goshen Secure Center, February the 18th of 2017, Wing 3. Interview YDA named Atkins. Lastly, they would have people go by fake names so that I wouldn't be able to identify correctly. When I was about 8, I had a female friend named Johnny Burrell. I was in love, and this was not acceptable for Angela Campbell. She knows all about this. This all happened because I was attracted to Johnny Burrell and not Najee Leonard, Angela Campbell's niece. Also, one day around this time, Angela Campbell read my palms and she saw that I would go to the NBA. So she hatched a plan to This is a movie script. Okay, Sally D said this letter is a whole Lifetime movie. Okay. D Major said this is more confusing than a tweet from Trump. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is entertaining. Okay, this is actually entertaining. I mean, it's all a bunch of lies, clearly, but entertaining nonetheless. Most hated bronze flat power God said so nefarious. RG Titan said this letter sounds like a Tubi movie script. Okay, I should turn it into one. Please pay attention. I just might. But let me keep going, honey, because don't stop now. So anyway, it goes on to say that she read his palms and realized he was going to the NBA. So she hatched a plan to ruin my life unless I turned gay, specifically transitioned into a girl. Additionally, around this time, Sean Combs drove a gray car to the park across the street from my house at 491 Carter Street. He told me that he was God. He told me that he would give me $100 million if I be gay, and that if I don't, I can't play basketball anymore. Please interview Johnny Burrow, because in order to stop me from being with her, they would show her videos of me being great and make it look like it was actually consensual and I was gay. They also inserted another boy into her life instead of me and hatched a plan to get him to kill me. No lie. Sean Combs and Angela Campbell literally ruined my life. He has followers, and they have been trying to kill me. Please interview Officer Burkhardt. I believe his first name is Thomas. And please interview Johnny Burrow. Please work with me on this suit. I swear it is not frivolous under penalty of perjury. And then it's signed March 29th of 2020. And then here's the address. I'm actually going to write him because he's insane, it sounds like. Okay, I just might actually write him. Then it says, please interview these. Subpoena witness. Johnny Burrell of Rochester, New York. I went to school with her. Oh, I'm sorry, not Johnny. It's Janae. Janae Burrell. Okay, it's handwriting, like I said. Janae Burrell of Rochester, New York. I went to school with her. Rochester Prep High School. Joshua Hart, or Officer Hart, works at Mid-State Correctional Facility, S Block. I think that's an S, or is it a 5? I don't know. Okay, Sergeant Fan works at Mid-State Correctional Facility, S Block. I think the blocks do have letters, okay, like D block or whatever, okay. So Officer Burkhart collected laundry in Mid-State Correctional Facility S block on March 28th of 2025. I believe works at Fishkill Correctional Facility now. Deputy Super somebody of mental health, Christopher at Mid-State Correctional Facility. You must talk to these people before you can make a judgment on this case. In the name of justice, this is not a fantasy. All right, and so there's the self-addressed envelope. Okay, so please pay attention, honey. Whew. Silent D. Silent D said the edits are going to be out of pocket. Gwendolyn said under penalty of MK Ultra. Okay, this is all nefarious. All right, so there's y'all's laugh for the day, okay? There is y'all's laugh for the day. So that all been said, I'm about to be out of here. All right, so I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast. Anybody have any comments, questions, comments, or snide remarks? Darius said he needs help and an exorcism. Okay, Panther Strike said a 13-page script for the next blockbuster movie. I can see him at the Oscars now. Oh my goodness. Okay, Trusno said he might be lying about being on drugs. Sensationalism at its finest. Okay. I think he has some mental health issues. All right. Tawana said, poor man. I know, right? Serena said, I will get on the replay. Okay, thank you, beloved. And shout out to the replay gang. All right. Durana said, nothing can top the roast of Obed. Oh my God. Why did you bring that back up? Okay. You know what? I'm going to have to clip that. And did I post that? No, I didn't, but I thought about it. I'm going to have to clip that, right? Clip that segment of the video and post it as maybe a, post it on the, you know, just do it as an upload or a short, because that was hilarious. Okay. That was hilarious. I mean, you all drug him for filth. What was he thinking? Okay. What was he thinking? Okay. So anyway, I wonder if he still tunes in because I didn't block him. All right. So anyway, with that all been said, listen, I love you all to life. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Double check to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. And I will see you all tomorrow. Okay. I'll be probably go live tomorrow around 12 or 1 sometime. Maybe I'll go early. I'm not sure. Let me just hush because I don't know what time I'm going. All right. I don't know what time I'm going. I know I have to go work out tomorrow. So it's going to be after that. Okay, you're welcome, Silent D. Okay, so listen, I love you all to life. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives and enjoy your strong end, not your weekends, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Peace. Oh, and by the way, you guys, please make sure you're checking out the uploads if you haven't seen them. I'm actually going to be posting an upload for members only, okay? Because my members, I haven't done anything for you all in a minute, okay? So I'm going to post an upload for the members only sometime later on, all right, or in the morning. But nonetheless, I got to start back posting for members only on here and the spiritual channel. So I told you all that today, so that's what I'm going to do, all right? So anyway, love you all to life and enjoy the rest of this day. And until next time, beloveds, peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got